So today we are going to be making some surprise pop-up drawings. We are sticking with our ocean theme for the week, but this is something you can definitely do with lots of other themes after you create this first one if you really enjoy what we're doing. So without further, I'm going to take you to it.
All right, guys, so what you are going to be doing today is first thing we have to do, supplies we're going to need for today is a piece of white paper, something to color with. I'm using crayons. You can use colored pencils, markers, paint, whatever it is you want, pencil, and a Sharpie. The Sharpie is optional. You do not have to have the Sharpie for this project today. So starting with all of this, first thing I have to do is I have to fold my paper so that I am able to create that surprise effect. So to do that, I'm going to take the bottom two corners, I am going to pick them up, and then I'm going to line them up with the top two corners of my paper. Once I get them pretty nice and lined up, then I can put my finger down, crease, and crease that across. Once my paper is folded in half here, I'm going to take this top edge here, and then I'm going to line it up down here on the fold. So I'm just pulling one side of the paper down, bringing it to the bottom of the paper, creasing, making sure it's lined up pretty nicely, and then creasing all the way across. Once I have done that, I can start my drawing. So I'm gonna just do the rough outline with a pencil, and then I'll go in with Sharpie and really outline and add all the details. So I'm gonna start off with the top part of my fish. So I'm gonna kind of come up in a curve, down, and then out where the tail is. So I kind of made almost like a roller coaster type line. Then I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna draw over the top of the fold there as long as I want that tail to go. And then I'm gonna create almost the same line, but I'm gonna mirror it or create a symmetrical line this same way. So it's gonna come in to make that tail, back down. If paper starts moving, just pick up pencil, let it fall, up, and then I'm gonna kind of have the nose of this fish kind of end in a point like that. So now that I have the outline of the fish done, I'm gonna move to Sharpie. One thing you have to be careful with Sharpie is because it can soak through, making sure it's not bleeding through and making little spots to the inside. If it does, I would just change that and make that part of your design. So I'm gonna go in here, and you don't have to do this part in Sharpie. You could definitely just leave yours in pencil or whatever you're drawing with if you want to. I am just gonna switch to Sharpie for this part here. So now, that I have, and if that happens, I didn't quite stick right with my pencil line, I just go back in, erase away any pencil that I do not want in my design, and no one will ever know you didn't follow perfect on the line. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start adding in all of my details for my fish. I'm still keeping my paper close for right now, but I am gonna go in, I am going to add an eye, I'm gonna do a circle, a smaller circle, and then an even smaller circle to create that reflection. And I'm going to color in the large part of my eye, leaving those two smaller circles white as a reflection inside that eye there. Then I'm gonna come through and I am going to just draw a line for the mouth. And the line is gonna go on both the top and bottom of this. So when I pick it up, I can see the line for where the mouth is on both the bottom fold as well as the top fold. So I'm still not ready to draw that part yet, but you wanna make sure you can tell where the mouth is on both parts of that paper, because that's gonna be really important for later on. Then I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna add a fin for my fish, this little flipper. I am going to kind of add a little line where the tail is, and then some detail on there. And you can create, I'm gonna add some stripes on my fish, but you can do really any kind of detailing you want, polka dots, stripes, circles, swirls, all of it. combination, up to you truly with how you want your fish to look. My opinion, usually the more details, the better. So I've got some stripe there. I'm gonna add a nice little fin. Almost like my fish has a mohawk. The front, and then I'm gonna add a small one on the bottom there. So now I kind of have all of the details I want my fish to have on the outside. I'm gonna actually add a few little bubbles coming out of his mouth there. So now it's time for me to open my fish. And you see I have all this space in the middle here where I need to connect this fish. So this, I'm actually gonna switch back to my pencil for a second. I am going to draw a line connecting the tail. You might need to use a ruler or a straight edge for it. And I am going to draw a line connecting the inside part of the mouth. Now it's important, we don't want to connect the very opening of the mouth. We want to connect the inside of the mouth because we need to show where that mouth is going to open. So I'm going to draw kind of a curved line from those two to show that mouth opening. And then I'm going to go back in, tracing over that so it matches with the Sharpie. Erasing my pencil. And then I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to connect together all of the details on my fish. So all those stripes, anything that crossed over that fold. Okay. So next, I'm going to go through and I'm going to start adding in those details inside this big, massive mouth. And I'm going to come in, and to make mine extra surprising, I feel like he needs to go from this very sweet, kind-looking fish to kind of a crazy, scary one. However, you can make your teeth however you want. You could make confetti exploding out of this fish's mouth, or really just anything surprising. I'm going to make these little bubbles still, though, traveling from the big fish's mouth. And I'm going to draw a little tiny fish inside one of those bubbles floating out of it. Once I've got that, I just want to make sure when I close up that fish, I go from nice fish, woo, to a slightly surprising fish. And then I'm good to go ahead and start coloring everything in. If you want to add more details, go for it. If you want to add more background, anything else, go for it, absolutely. But at this point, I am going to kind of have this fast forward through here. If you need to pause it all, please do. All right, and there you have it. We have our surprise fish who goes from very sweet, innocent fish to kind of a terrifying guy. And guys, you can make this like this. I've got a couple other examples, one really similar, slightly different look, gives me that same feel. Or you can even do one where instead of it looking to the side, looking straight on, so I kind of have my shark here who is looking straight on. I just did a circle, drew the shark fins. Here, the eyes align straight across on that fold. And then when it opens up, you see more the inside of that shark's mouth.
All right, I hope you guys had fun. Show me what yours look like. I can't wait to see them. Bye, guys.